Hey guys, I have a really neat engine here today to show you. This is a Visionline GS6 locomotive. Now there's tons of videos out there of the GS series and I figured I would upload mine. So had the engine a little while and I'm finally getting around to filming it. Really nice piece, and I really like the reciprocating cylinder steam, which you'll see in a minute. And the consist that this is pulling today is my version of the San Francisco Overland. So the San Francisco Overland ran from Chicago to San Francisco over the through the Overland route, and it was a mixture of heavyweight and lightweight equipment. This was the low-cost alternative to the Union Pacific's City of San Francisco train, and you would often find a lot of Harriman cars mixed in with some standard heavyweights and streamlined cars. And the cars were mostly painted in Union Pacific yellow, even the Southern Pacific ones, but because of the just the mixture of equipment that was typically on this train, you would see some Pullman heavyweights and just other paint schemes time to time. So it started out as a three railroad operation. The Chicago Northwestern would pull it out of Chicago, hand it off to the Union Pacific, and then the Union Pacific would hand it off to the Southern Pacific. However, that changed later in life, and the Chicago Northwestern was ditched, and the Milwaukee Road then took the train over from Chicago out to the first point west. So, and as you can see here, we have the Olympian Hiawatha observation car. This is a Golden Gate Depot car, and I was able to pick this up at a really good price just out of nowhere. And so I'm using it today to be the observation car on this train. So typically the Milwaukee Road equipment on the San Francisco Overland would have been a little bit different. It wouldn't have been one of these, although later in life some of the Olympian Hiawatha equipment was transferred to this train as ridership began to decline on the Olympian Hiawatha. So not sure if this observation ever made it to this train, but you know what, it looks really cool. So, and then we of course have the Sunset Brass 3/4 dome. So you saw the daylight one in a quick video I did. This is the yellow version, and this is the version that was on the San Francisco Overland. And eventually this version was painted silver. So both the yellow and the silver could have been found on this train. This is a standard dining car by Lionel. It does not have the sound package in it. I ripped out the sound package and I accidentally fried it in a brass Harriman diner almost a year ago. So, but I still have this car, and my plan was to use it in Long Island Railroad parlor car service, but now it has two purposes, being the dining car on this train. These are all brass Harrimans, really cool. And on one end, the doors actually open, and these drop plates lift up as well. We're also going to run this reefer train with the cab forward, so that'll be really cool. You get to see the cab forward with a consist. So here's another Harriman coach, and then we have a Harriman RPO, and then a Harriman storage mail. So when I begin to run this in just a minute, I do have to take it kind of slow because those Harrimans are plastic, and the rest of the train is pretty much aluminum and brass, with the exception of that 12-1 sleeper over there, the Union Pacific 12-1 sleeper. So if I go too fast, these will jump the track on curbs. I need to open them up and put weights in them and you know, get them a little more stable for being on the head end of a heavy train. So, and this engine is really cool. It has no problem pulling this load whatsoever. So it's nice to get a Lionel legacy engine that can actually pull some serious weight. So cool stuff. And then real quick before the running begins, the cab forward is just pulling a reefer train. There's two Visionline reefers, and then this really cool silver one mixed in the consist. And finally, we have one of the new Lionel cabooses. This is the old MTH tooling. So I have the Southern Pacific here, and I also got Union Pacific. So I have a steam engine for that one already, and you'll get to see that a little bit further down the line. So anyway, let's get to the running.
Dispatcher to Southern Pacific 4462. Clear to move east on one runner when ready. Over.
Yes, sir. We'll fire her up. Southern Pacific 4462.
Well, there you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Some West Coast stuff from me. That's a little bit of a change. I'm usually more of a East Coast and New York City subway modeler. But living down here in the Deep South, the Southern Pacific had a pretty big presence down in the New Orleans area back in the day. So, you know, I've been kind of getting into this railroad a little bit, and I've really been enjoying it. They have some really unusual locomotives like the cab forward, and also, you know, the streamlined skyline casting on these GS series locomotives and some of their other locomotives is really cool. It's really stylish, and it's just a really interesting railroad. You probably have the nicest dome cars of any railroad, and this is the first in O gauge to have a 3/4 dome in brass, and these cars are absolutely gorgeous. So I hope you enjoyed it. There'll be more on these engines pretty soon, and I will be weathering the cab forward and adding some more paint detail to it, and I'll probably go ahead and weather the GS as well at some point. With all the smoke features, weathering really brings that out more. So I'm not going to go too heavy on these engines. They were pretty well maintained, the GS series, but the cab forward for sure, with all that piping and all that detail, will get a heavier weathering job, and that'll look really good when it's done. And the reefers will get weathered. So lots of stuff coming down the line. My next video is going to feature some more East Coast stuff. I'm going to redo a video of the Cleveland Union Terminal box cabs, and I'm also going to be doing some videos of stuff I'll be selling. So as I get ready to design my layout, which will be coming in the near future, I just have stuff that I will probably not use on the layout too much, just because I'm limited in space and I've got a huge train collection. So I'm going to be thinning it out a little bit, and in the coming week or two, you'll start to see some videos of some stuff I'm releasing. So the first will be the Cleveland Union Terminal collection. That'll be the very next video. So look forward to that. And then there's some other stuff down the line too, very shortly down the line. I actually have some time now to enjoy the hobby. So I will be running stuff and selling stuff, and feel free to chat with me in the comments, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.